Feeling off at work lately? These hidden signs could mean that your career is in danger. Hi everyone, I'm Alex, founder of Already Academy and a leader with 12 years experience driving executive compensation, organizational design, product, and I even headed HR M&A at a major bank. I've dealt with leaders at the highest levels and created talent strategies covering thousands of employees. And today, you'll discover the early warning signs that could mean your career is at risk. And later, I'll share exactly what to do if you're dragged into that dreaded exit conversation. Now, there are times in most of our careers when we feel we may be in danger of getting fired. It happens to all of us, and luckily it's usually a false alarm, but it never hurts to be prepared. I'm releasing this video now because for many companies, year-end is December, and either year-end or the end of Q1, which would be March, is when budgets get finalized, talent gets shuffled, and roles get eliminated. While your company may have a different year-end than December, the advice in this video should apply no matter when your company's year-end is scheduled. Now look, it happens to all of us, even those of us who are not super paranoid like I am. We all have situations that make us think, am I about to get fired? Well, it's often not the case. I can't blame you for thinking that. The data shows this year that about 250,000 people have been let go in a wide variety of industries, from retail to government to technology. Oftentimes, these changes are structural and not based on employee performance, but regardless, it never hurts to be prepared. Taking control with awareness and preparation is the key to navigating these challenges successfully. Oftentimes, there's a triggering incident, almost like an earthquake, that's very hard to miss. If you notice a sudden change in your responsibilities, or you're suddenly excluded from projects where you were included before, or the company has made it clear that mass firings are about to happen, and suddenly you have an odd invite from ER in your calendar, no matter what triggers the incident, you need to be prepared. It can also be a series of minor tremors. For example, a lack of recognition for achievements where you were normally recognized before. Or perhaps a gradual reduction in your workload or responsibilities. Or perhaps your manager is just acting weird around you or doing anything they can to avoid talking to you. If you've experienced an earthquake or a series of minor tremors, it could mean a tsunami is on the way that could wipe out your career. You need to take action. Now, the first thing I think of when a tsunami is coming is, how do I get to higher ground? What's higher ground in this case? It's pockets of the organization where you work, where you have stronger relationships that you can leverage. Evaluate your internal options, people. Think about areas in the organization, especially in large companies or bureaucracies, where you have a good reputation and some allies. Reach out to those people about any available opportunities. If some opportunities are available, make sure to toss your hat in the ring. While it might seem counterintuitive, you should also let your manager know that you're doing this. If your manager knows you're trying to get yourself off their hands, they may give you a little extra time and delay that firing conversation. Listen, everyone, in my experience, few managers actually want to fire people. If your manager sees that you're trying to move, they may give you some grace time if they see you're working to get yourself off their hands and help them reduce their FTE. So get to it. The second thing that comes to my mind when I think a tsunami is coming is, how do I get out of here? Flee. Leave the organization. If you decide to do this and you have to do it quickly, here are a few tips. First, set specific goals for your job search and networking. Stay laser focused on the types of companies and roles of those companies where you want to work, and target all your energy networking and applying to those companies. Secondly, you need to leverage your existing network. Start with friends, family, mentors, those closest to you before expanding outward. They may be able to point you towards unadvertised opportunities, which is a huge advantage when trying to switch roles quickly. Finally, it is really important to have a strong narrative prepared about why you're leaving the organization. Telling a potential new employer, "I'm leaving because I'm scared I'm going to be fired," does not inspire confidence. It will make them wonder why you're so concerned, and it may give them the impression that your performance could be the problem. Remember, there is a big advantage to leaving on your own terms, avoiding that really awkward gap in your employment record and the associated loss of income. Finally, if you've read the signs too late and you can't avoid that incoming tsunami, then you need to think about how can you best protect yourself when the waves come crashing through. Here are some tips on how to handle what's coming. First of all, documentation. Make sure to make copies of your performance reviews, especially if they're good, any awards you may have won. Think about other relevant documentation, anything that could support you in your future job searches or employment disputes. Now, a word of caution here. If you're going to email yourself some files of a personal nature, do not email anything your former employer might consider proprietary. That's not the point of this. The point of this is to pull together some facts about why you're a strong performer to help you with your next job search. Secondly, and related to number one, focus on housekeeping and get answers to these specific questions. Find out when you're going to get your last paycheck, how your employer intends to use unused vacation, will they pay it out, and how long your health benefits will be available. These are important questions as you plan your next steps. Also figure out if your employer is willing to provide a severance payment in exchange for you waiving your right to litigation. And finally, figure out if your employer is willing to pay for outplacement services. For those of you who don't know, outplacement services include career coaching, resume support, job search support. Oftentimes, employers are willing to provide this kind of support if you ask for it. Make sure that you get clear answers to these questions during the exit conversation. These details are critical in helping you plan for your next steps during what is going to be a difficult time. Finally, no matter what they say, don't sign anything. Take home whatever package they give you, take some time, look it over. Depending on the quantum involved and your time at the company, it may be worth getting another expert to take a look and let you know if you're getting all you're entitled to. Finally, deep breath. The most successful people I know have been let go, sometimes on multiple occasions. It happens, and the advice from this video will help ensure that you make the best out of a difficult situation. Hi everyone, if you found these tips helpful, make sure to hit that subscribe button below so you never miss out on fresh, actionable advice like this. At Already Academy, we are committed to cutting through the noise and giving you practical, actionable advice. Also, drop a comment below if you've been in this situation before. Let us know how you dealt with it. It's by sharing our collective experiences that we all get stronger.